Hey everyone, and welcome back to Gearblocks. Back working on the new pickup that I've been working on. I wish I could build things like Laws does. The last video we were checking out the trophy truck he's been building, and it's amazing. And I just wish I could build stuff like that. Especially being able to tilt the engine back and down the way it's supposed to be. It would help with space and stuff so much. Alright, there we go. I am working on a Jeep that might replace the Peach at some point. I'm taking inspiration from the stuff Laws builds to try and figure out how to do chassis and drivelines better and stuff, and the first thing I'm doing is a Peach, another one. Either way, the last video on this truck, we did the bed, and I'm not sure what else was done in the last one. But I think we test drove it as well. The steering should be good enough for now, yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would like to make better looking axles and stuff as well. I would like to start using the transfer case I built also. I want to make a gearbox like the 6-speed Laws made, but I don't know how they made it. Where's my transfer case? I could have sworn I saved it. Maybe I should load the other world really quick. I don't like how you can't search your creations. Can make them super small though. Should finish the Impala I was working on too. I was trying to make an Impala with, oh there it is, an Impala with hydraulics and stuff, but it didn't. I just haven't finished it. So yeah, here's my transfer case. You've got your input, it goes back to the out, and then there's the front. It has 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and 4-wheel low. So I'm hoping to start using that, but I will have to adjust my front differential to move the input over by 1. But either way, back on topic. So, with this truck, I need to finish the top of the dash. Yeah, it's held on so weird. I need to finish the doors. And all of that wonderful stuff. I don't know if I'll put skirts on the side of it to cover up the chassis. I probably won't. I'll probably just bring it down low like this is. Is the bed on properly? Yep, it's proper, okay. Maybe I should do the front, like, fenders and stuff next. Which shouldn't be too difficult. Aluminum. Yep. Just gonna do that to kind of get a good idea. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I want to make this thing, as I've said before, as modular as I can. Which means when I put the bigger wheels and longer travel suspension on it, it's going to need to be able to stuff the wheels in the fenders. Which can, it's just the height. Because of just how these bits are. We'll see when we get to that point. Ooh, that's bugging me. Okay. I don't want it to hang over too much from the front. And I do need, like, a radiator and stuff. I don't like how this steering is either. I do it this way because it's more realistic. But I don't really like it. I just have to get it connected up to the rest of it. Okay. One of the creations I was using for a little while that had radiators and stuff, I think was taken down. Because I don't see it in the list anymore, and I know I didn't unsubscribe to it. It had a bunch of pre-made stuff, and I really liked it for measuring things out at least. Okay. I guess I will use my crappy radiator. It could go there. I would like to lower the front of the chassis a tiny bit as well. So... Thankfully there's not a ton of stuff attached to it yet. There's enough stuff attached to it to be annoying. Okay. So let's get rid of this. The shackle goes there. So I'm going to switch this to steel before I forget. And then I'll just kind of do this, I think. Something like that. So bring this one back. Attach that like so. Okay. That gets the rad down a little bit, but it's still way too far forwards. I want it to be like this back more. It's the front shackle that moves. I wonder if I could put a shorter shackle on it. Because I could go like that. That might work. Okay, so let's move this back. And then put that like that. Because the shackle needs to go back and kind of down, not forwards. So I think this will kind of work. Did that just disconnect the battery? Yes, of course it did. Can't stand when it does that. Make sure those rotate. I will also be doing the same thing I typically do with batteries now, which is having one in the engine bay or somewhere for the main driving stuff. So the engine, the steering, and like lockers and stuff, gearbox. And then I have one under the dash for everything that attaches to this bit. I'm not sure what I want to do about the bed though. I could do another separate one for the bed and keep this thing as modular as I can, but we shall see. Okay. Why did that... Why is this not going down? Is it doing what I think it's doing? It better not be, because I will be very frustrated if it is. The way I do my leaf springs, they tend to connect to each other, and it stops working when that happens. So if I... like that, there's one of them. Okay, so it might not have been attached. Really? So that's going in the right direction. Not by much, though. Okay, they're both going in the right direction, but they don't seem to be going far. Why is clamp angle on? Clamp angle should not be on. Clamp angle stops it from going past the angle you have set. So this one should be okay. Okay, there we go. That one's fixed. And this doesn't have... Oh! That's probably why. There we go. There is a slight issue though, because with it like that, it can't compress the suspension, because it should also go up by a block. But with that like that, it can't. So, if I'm gonna do that, I need to... do this a bit differently. That should work. Should? This version of the truck doesn't need to be like super special or anything. It's just a just the base model. So that works. I'm going to change the rear shackles as well, or not shackles, but the rear mounting point, whatever. Okay. So, what I can do with this bit is just angle it a little bit to make it look better. like so. I could bring this down more like that. And then can I bring it forwards more? Not really. What if I go like this? Does that clear the body? No. Of course it doesn't. That does. Get rid of that. And then what could I use there instead of these? Where did I put the other one? So there's that. Where did I put the other plates? Whatever. Shorten that and let's go there. Okay. I could. Ooh, let's grab that. Let's grab an axle. I need it to be 3. See, I don't like how wide it is. But I could also do that, which wouldn't look too bad. I actually think it looks a little better like this. So I think I will go around and change stuff, and then this gives me a bit of a better opening for the chassis. Let's switch out this one as well. Just going to duplicate this. The front ones won't work like that because... maybe, hold on. That's definitely too short. So it'll work for these ones, but it won't necessarily work for the front ones. I still have to do the engine mounts as well. I'm also going to remove the wheels so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. So that does work. I need to just attach this really quick. Where did that gusset go that I had? Ah, right. Okay. What can I use instead of this? Because there are the offset tiles, but it's centered. And that one's really big. I wish we could make this longer. That would be really nice. Actually, if I take that out of there, put that like that, it'll all properly attach again. So I'll leave that for now. Steering's hooked up again with its little bit of bump steer. Everything's disconnected from the battery again, because of course it is. But that works. And now I need to put the proper engine mounts back in it again. It's so annoying. When I'm recording, I have to put my mic closer to me. But it gets in the way when I do that. So moving the mouse is really annoying. And if I put it on my other side, it'll block my other screen. I've tried it. So, yeah. Okay, what was I doing? Oh, engine mount. There we go. Okay, this is probably too wide. Oh yeah, way too wide. And that's going to be too narrow because of the engine itself. Yeah. Well, not really if I keep it up here, but then these will hit the pulley and stuff. So let's get that widened again, and then I will narrow it here instead. I wish we could make the axle and bar thingy like I was just using shorter. Like this. The whole axle thing. This thing, 2-hole and axle. I wish we could make it this short instead of how long it has to be. But that should now fit properly. But it's also too high. So we get rid of these. Rotate these ones. And there we go, we have engine mount. And I'm not really concerned about how close it is to the differential, because the differential should be so much smaller. So I think that'll be fine. And then I need to put another one on the back. And make sure they aren't set to 0. Get rid of the clamp angle. I find setting these all to 2 is usually decent. And doing the engine mount like this allows it to move a little bit, like real ones do. There we go. this back on somehow. Okay, I don't think this needs to be so long. That's how it's going to stay for now. And then I need to... I'll put this one over here, actually. Okay, that gear should be set to spin the way it is. I need to bring this over and then up. And I also need to change the ratio. So I want to use... Oh, I still need to change the chassis on this side also. I will go through and change up the chassis the rest of the way, like this part here. Once I've got it more complete, so that way I can just take the bed off, or the body and the bed, I guess, and work on the chassis, and I'll know it all still like fits and stuff. This moves there. I'm going to put on the biggest gear I can stick there. So I think one more. Okay. And I'm going to need this, which isn't going to work there, but it might work there. Probably not with this one. Ooh, it does work with that one, just barely. Okay. And now, how do I want to do this bit? I could use another 8-tooth up there. And then, how far is in between? Not really enough. So I was thinking I could use a couple crown gears to connect these. But I don't like doing that. And with having the worm drive over here, I don't need to make such a step down here. Or a reduction, I should say. So that will work. I just don't like where it's holding it, I guess. So, what we do is we shorten that to there, set these to false. We grab the offset tile, set these to false. And my idea doesn't work because the offset tile doesn't offset that. Okay. I guess I could just do that, but I don't like it. It'll work, but I don't like it. Oh well. That's going to be it for today. Made a little bit of progress. I need to figure out how I'm going to do the steering. Because it's only going to be the servo that actually does the steering. I don't need to worry about this bit too much. But I would like to do it a bit more proper I would kind of like to put the servo up here instead. But to get the proper rotation on everything, to do it that way, I need 2 servos. Does this thing have the 2 servos or just 1? I don't think it's got any servos at the moment. Really? How did I do the steering on this one? Is this just... No. That's separated. So there's gotta be something else causing the steering. Like that RAM. Okay. Either way. As usual, if you have any tips, tricks, questions, anything you want me to check out, feel free to leave it in the comments below. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.